Number one fan.
Welcome to this week's edition of Tracking the Wolves with your voice of the Wolves. That's me, Ben Root. Time now to look back at last week's action in NSU sports. NSU volleyball squad started NSIC action in impressive fashion last week, recording a couple more sweeps, moving to 10-0 overall this season. Each one of those wins a straight set sweep. To go with that start, the team also added 2 more NSIC Player of the Week awards as Kelsey Chambers took home the award on offense and Drew Smith got the hardware at setter. Chambers finished with 30 kills last week, hitting .490 to go with 14 digs in 6 sets of play. Smith, meanwhile, helped her out with 73 assists as the team hit at a conference best rate of .401. Senior out of Iowa leads the nation right now at 13.38 assists per set. She also had 19 digs over the weekend on D. On the pitch, NSU played to a scoreless draw Saturday in St. Cloud despite getting outshot in shots on goal 10-2. Brittany Teets helped secure that tie, playing all 110 minutes in goal and stopping all 10 shots she faced. Wolves got the offense going though Sunday in Duluth thanks to Anna Bondi. The Peer Jr. picked up the hat trick, helping NSU down Duluth 3-1. It's only the second time the Wolves have beaten the Bulldogs in the 16 times they've played. Assists went out to Allison Bird, Allie McDonald, and Kay Hernandez in the win. And for her efforts in net, Teets, who stopped 10 shots in this one, allowing just a goal there in the final minute of the weekend, took home your goalkeeper of the week award in the NSIC. Meanwhile, your NSU football squad went down to Wayne America Saturday in search of that first win, and things started off on the right foot as they led 10-0 early. But the Wildcats would answer back, taking a 20-13 advantage by intermission. After a scoreless third quarter, the final frame got crazy, NSU tying it up at 20 and then tied it up again at 27 on a couple TD tosses from Kyle Levan. But Wayne would regain the lead with 2:14 to play, and the Wolves' final drive went all the way down the field to the 11-yard line before it stalled, and Northern fell 34-27. Kyle Levan piled up 365 yards through the air and hit Taylor Houchin and Cody Kraft for TDs. Kraft wound up with 4 catches with 96 yards, and his fellow tight end, Connor Doherty, was strong with 11 grabs for 143 yards. Nick Truan, meanwhile, picked up Northern's first rushing touchdown of the season. That's a look at last week's action for the Maroon and Gold. We'll talk more Northern sports and focus on football and cross country when we come back here on Tracking the Wolves.
Being part of a great team means you know your role and you work your role to the best of your ability. If you're consistently going to show up and be your best, you're going to be part of that team. You can see the success they have over time. It's not just 1 year flash in the pan. It's consistent success over time, which makes them great. And that's where the work ethic comes in. The ability to come into work, do the same thing repeatedly day after day after day, and putting your best foot forward is going to separate you from the rest.
Choose the experts. Choose Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
Welcome back to this edition of Tracking the Wolves as we focus in on some football here, getting set for your Gypsy Days contest coming up this weekend here in town as 7th-ranked Sioux Falls comes to town. And joining us, a couple of juniors on the show here today. We've got Channing Barber and Connor Doherty, both South Dakota products here on the show. Thanks for coming in, guys.
Thank you.
Well, a tough start to the season, 0-3 right now. What's been the toughest part of the rough start of the season for each of you guys here this far in?
If someone told us that we'd be starting 0-3 to start the year, we probably would have told them that they're crazy. But so obviously it gets a little frustrating, but we just got to keep working one day at a time, one practice at a time, just keep getting better, and hopefully we'll start to rattle off some wins.
How about on the defensive side there?
I think that the most part of it is that we're all really competitive guys. You can see it in practice. We like get in fights sometimes, and none of us like losing. So I think that's, and seeing all the time and work we put in this summer and in the off season, it kind of sucks starting off how we did.
Now, there have been some positives out there. What's some of the stuff you've seen early on that's maybe kept your hopes up here a little bit the rest of the way?
Well, offensively, obviously, I think we started very slow in the first game, but each and every game we've gotten better, putting up more points. And I think last game we really started to see it, and we're starting to put things together offensively.
On the defensive side, I think we're stopping the run, which is really good, and a lot of teams like to run in our league. And we just been communicating really well out there, and just flying around and having fun and being fast. And we got to keep continuing to do that, and we'll be successful.
Now, Mavericks were top ranked, still ranked number 1, and you guys kind of hung with them, especially defensively. And you able to put a touchdown up against that defense, which was pretty ridiculous out there. Looking at that game, did that give you a little inspiration into last week's game against Wayne, even though he came up on the wrong end of it. It was a real tight game.
Yeah, it was definitely inspiring. Obviously we want to win every single game, but playing with that best team in the country, hanging in there with them, and that really gave all the guys confidence and showed everyone that we can play with anybody in the country. So that'll give us confidence throughout the whole year.
Now, don't like to concentrate on injuries too much, but you haven't had a, I guess, full healthy team yet this year, kind of changing guys in and out. Has it been tough as far as working with different players out there? Or has that made it a little more difficult? Or?
Yeah, I think it makes it pretty difficult, losing Tyler Roble and Nick Murphy. It'd be nice to have those guys back up front, but pretty much everyone's had some playing experience up front, especially. So, we're just going to keep working together each and every day and keep gelling together and getting better.
And then on the defensive side, there have been injuries kind of here and there, but it seems like some of the guys are even playing through it. I know, I think it was Taylor Zemlico. I think it was Taylor has a wrist injury or something with the cast out there he's playing.
Oh, yeah, it's Tyson. Yeah, Tyson. He's got something with his thumb. I don't know.
Okay.
He cut his cast off right before the game and played through it. So
So just go ahead and take the cast off. It's fine. I guess it's appropriate. We were watching Ricky Bobby or whatever before getting his leg, figuring out how to walk or something. Anyhow, now with Kyle Van 3 games in here on offense, you're feeling a little more comfortable. It looked like it that last game especially. Yeah,
like I said earlier, each and every game we're getting more comfortable, and I think Kyle really is starting to figure it out. Last game, especially near the end of the game, we were starting to, beginning of the game, we put some drives together, just got to finish, and then near the end, we really started scoring some points. So we got a lot of confidence in him.
You talked about the run defense a little bit there, Channing. Is that something you guys worked on in the off season, or why has the run defense been so good? Because you've been stuffing at least 2 of the 3 teams. Mavericks ran a little bit on you, kind of unexpected, but
I think it's just us watching film and being good at telling what they're going to do when they're going to run. And we've really worked hard in the off season. Like, a lot of our guys got a lot stronger than previous years. So I think that just helps out a lot with stopping the run, and we're more physical.
Okay, so Coach Fritz helping you out a little bit there as far as that goes. Now, Gypsy Days here this week, of course. We mentioned Sioux Falls, 7th ranked, coming into town. Is there a different feel in town or around the team with it being Gypsy Days this week?
I think there is definitely a little bit different feel. A lot of excitement. It's going to be a very good environment on Saturday, so we're all pretty excited, but we got to focus on practicing and getting better one day at a time.
How's school going for you guys? Everything good with the schooling and your majors and everything?
Everything's going pretty well for me. I think I'm taking 15 credits this semester, and I've got 1 online class, so nothing too hectic, and it's going pretty well.
Does it help the online classes if you had service on the bus? Would that help you out? Or?
Yeah, that probably would help if we got some Wi-Fi in the bus. But.
Oh. How about you, Channing?
Same. I think I'm taking 14 credits. Probably my only hard days Wednesdays when I have 5 classes, but other than that, it's going pretty well.
And sailing on there. As we wrap things up here, Connor Doherty and Channing Barber on this Track of the Wolves. I usually ask what's your favorite 3 movies, or either 3 movies or CDs or something you would take on a long trip. I'm just going to go with what's your favorite sports movie, since I don't know, change it up a little bit.
Favorite sports movie? Trying to think of something football. I'd say one that I can remember from watching all the time as a kid is probably The Replacements.
Okay, I heard that's really good. We were actually just talking about that the other day.
Yeah,
But haven't seen that yet. How about you, Channing?
Well, actually, I just saw it this summer. When the Game Stands Tall. It's about the De La Salle in California, how they had this streak and then they lost it, and then they kind of had to come together and start winning games again, and they won the state championship that year after losing the first 2 games of that season.
So like a documentary then? Is it?
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
So sounds pretty good. How about a non-football movie, just to throw one of those in there?
I would say No Country for Old Men. I like that movie a lot.
Probably the new Furious 7 movie.
Okay. No Country for Old Men. I still remember we watched that movie in the theater. I enjoyed it. We got out and there was an elderly woman that was complaining to the manager. That's all I'm going to say. She said it was just, everything about it was bad and just teaches bad things, and I was just, I don't know, I guess.
It's a movie.
Yeah, I don't think you got the point of the movie or something. But hey, to each their own. Thanks for coming on the show, guys.
Yep, thank you.
There we go, talking some football here on Track of the Wolves. We'll talk some cross-country action in a bit and look at the upcoming schedule this week here on Track of the Wolves.
We know you want family-friendly sporting events.
Sporting events where you can be comfortable
and entertained in a positive environment. Watching great individuals and teams compete.
With commitment, effort, and good sportsmanship. That's what the Division II Game Environment Initiative is about.
Be a part of the excitement and find out why.
These student athletes say with pride,
I chose
Division II.
Welcome back here on Tracking the Wolves. Ben Roots here with you, and time to focus in on some cross-country activity here. And we're joined by a couple of seniors, two of just three seniors on the cross-country team actually here this year, as Nicole Arnold, the only female senior with us from Montana, and out of Minnesota, one of two seniors on the guys' side, and Hunter Kopff joins us here as well. Thanks for coming on the show. Well, you're both from out of state, as I mentioned, from Montana and Minnesota. What was kind of the biggest change moving here to Aberdeen for each of you? How about you, Nicole? Which actually you come down from further north, so this might be even better for you here, huh?
Yeah, I'd say they're very similar, like the landscape and everything. We have a few more hills, which is a little bit different being here, but other than that, it's about the same.
Temperature and snow is pretty comparable.
Yep.
All that.
It's windier here. Never mind. It's very windy.
It's the wind. How about you, Hunter?
Not really a lot of trees. No hills either. That's a big difference, I guess, for me. And not a lot of lakes.
Yeah, land of 10 lakes. No, we have more than that, but yeah, not quite the same. Whereabouts, Malta, Montana, you said that's kind of near the border up top?
Yep, it's just 4 hours north of Billings, so which is kind of towards the middle of the state.
Okay. Do you get to go back there very often, or?
Usually just Thanksgiving and Christmas. So.
And as far as Monticello, whereabouts is that in Minnesota?
Right on 94 between St. Cloud and Minneapolis.
Okay.
So like 4.5 hours from here. Not too bad.
Now, cross-country season just underway with a couple of events in the Northern Twilight that ran under the lights and everything, and then the Herb Blakely invite down in Madison. How are you two feeling as you kind of get back into competition here this year?
Pretty good. It's good to just get the season started and get going to the meets. We've done pretty well so far, and now we're just looking forward to GRIAC this weekend.
It's kind of odd competing like the Madison invite. You had teams from like all different levels and what have you there. You know, Wayne was there, I guess, from the NSIC, but then, you know, I can't remember some of the other schools. I think Dort was there.
Yeah, lots of D3 schools.
So, but all the competition pretty comparable, though, or?
Yeah, for the most part. Dort had a really good team on the women's side, so that was good to compete against them.
Okay, and then on the guys' side, Hunter, you weren't able to run right at the
yeah, I was sick still, but we had a good group of guys packing up towards the front, so that was good. And at GRIAC we'll face, I guess, a lot more teams, a lot more runners, but should be a lot more fun too.
Oh, 7th place there in Madison for you, Nicole. Were you happy with your time there? Is that what you mainly focus on, or where you finish?
I was more like worried about the time, and the place was pretty good, but I was just coming off being sick too, so it's a little bit hard to breathe, but other than that, it wasn't bad.
Kind of a bug going around the team, is that what?
Yeah, pretty much everyone's sick.
Now I noticed you finished next to Lindsay Gast, you know, just ahead of her. Is it better or worse to kind of run with teammates sometimes? Are there some negatives to it? I know it seems like you guys like to run in packs sometime, like, you know, kind of Hunter said.
I like running together. It's like, especially at GRIAC, when other people from other teams are trying to box you in, when you have a teammate there, it's a lot better to kind of like help you navigate the crowd. So
just kind of shove people aside that way.
Yeah, got to get your own box and you just keep going.
Now, Hunter, are you feeling like you're going to be up for this weekend's trip to Minneapolis, or?
Yeah. I feel a lot better this weekend. My voice is still kind of.
I was going to say, still have a radio voice. That's good.
Yeah, but yeah, it should be fun. This is like my favorite race this season for cross country every year.
So that's your favorite race. That's what I was going to ask. Is what's your favorite race? How about you, Nicole? It's the same one, or?
Yep, probably GRIAC.
Is the biggest one you guys are a part of?
Yep.
Like 500 runners, probably.
Yeah.
Biggest one in the Midwest, biggest one in the country almost.
Mm-hmm.
Is it your favorite course, though, or are there other ones that you'd rather run on, like kind of move it there if you could?
I like the course. I like all the hills. I think it's really challenging, so then you really see who like the good runners are.
I'd like it if it was a little more flat with how many people there is, but it's still pretty fun.
You talked about the colds and everything. What's the toughest injury each of you's had to overcome in your careers?
I had a stress fracture last year, so that was pretty. I missed like most of cross country season and came back just for regionals and conference, so that was pretty hard. And that was like in my foot, so it was like I still feel it now and then.
Kind of what Sasha's dealing with right now,
Yep.
it sounds like. And
Yeah.
Probably trying to do the same thing.
Yeah, yeah, we're in the same exact position pretty much.
How about you, Hunter?
I haven't really had a major injury, just shin splints sometimes from time to time. But usually this year they've been good so far, but those can get pretty painful, I guess.
Is that the most common, you would think, as far as injuries go, is the shin splints? Or?
With certain people, yeah. Some people, it's usually their knees.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Knees or shins, I think.
Yeah, not a lot of shoulders or something.
Yeah, never
Unless
use
you're
the arms at all.
Really shoving people out of the way. With it being your senior seasons, how do you feel going into your final year here of competition?
You can go first.
How about Nicole?
Really good. I had a good training summer, so I'm just excited to get some PRs and just have a good season.
Hey, Hunter?
Yeah, same. Kind of excited to just get to the meets and competition and then can relax for a little bit maybe.
And you guys are both in track and field, I assume, too? Or
Yep.
I didn't double check that. But
Yeah, but I'm out of eligibility with track and indoor and outdoor.
Both indoor.
So
okay.
after this, I'm done.
And Nicole, you still have some eligibility? Or
Yep, I have the whole year.
For both? Okay.
Yep.
It's always the weirdest thing. Indoor, it can be one, and outdoor is the other. And
Yep.
all that stuff. Glad I don't have to deal with that. Do you expect to keep competing? Because I mean, some of the football guys, it's kind of tough for them to go, find somewhere they can compete competitively, I guess. But you guys can run marathons or what have you. You think you're going to keep doing that, or are you going to just turn on the TV and say, "I'm done with this"?
I'll probably keep doing it. Maybe take like a little break or something. But yeah, I want to do some marathons. Hardcore training, maybe. We'll see.
Make other people run, be a coach or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll go the coaching route. I think I'll stop. I'll maybe do a half marathon, but I don't think I'll ever get to do a marathon.
Can Coach Bierke hang with you guys, or he seems like he could keep running?
Actually, like 2 years ago, he raced with us at SDSU. I mean, I beat him, but yeah, he's hangs with
quick.
us. He runs with us like once or twice a week, but it's because he had like hip surgery, I think like a year ago, and that last year he didn't run at all really, and then he does some marathon, like a couple marathons a year, so it all varies, I guess.
Talking to Nicole Arnold and Hunter Kopff here with the cross country team on Track of the Wolves. What do you think is one good piece of advice for some of the young runners out there if they want to compete in cross country? What do they need to, concentrate on, or what's something that could help them out?
I would say that there's no off season. Like if you want to be good, you got to put in the miles during the summer and just dedicate yourself to the whole sport in order to improve.
They can still compete in other sports,
Yeah.
right, and stuff like that, but just
In order to be good at
just
running, you just got to
year-round.
keep going. Yeah.
How about you, Hunter?
Yeah, I'd say it's a lot. You just got to be really dedicated, and every day, stay dedicated and just do the grind, I guess.
Just keep on going. With the senior season, didn't get a chance to see your majors. How are things going with school? Planning on graduating on time and everything? And what are your majors?
Yeah, I'll graduate in this spring, and I'll have a art education major and a minor in coaching.
Okay. How about you, Hunter?
I'll graduate in May too with chemistry major, chemistry education major, and coaching minor.
Chemistry and coaching. So I guess you could do
Like
coach,
you could either
teach and coach, or
yeah,
type of thing, okay.
or do stuff in the pharmaceutical field.
Okay.
With chemistry.
A lot of options there, so that's good. As we wrap things up here, talking cross country, I usually ask what your favorite 3 items would be to take on a long road trip. If you could take CDs or a book or a movie, if you get 3 of any, mix and match, however you want to do it, what would you take? What are your 3 favorites, I guess, there?
I'd probably just take the Lord of the Rings trilogy, Blu-ray extended edition.
That'll kill a lot of time.
Yeah.
How about you, Nicole?
I'd just take my headphones and probably my phone just for music.
Okay. So no particular artist you'd be listening to, or
Everything
just
probably.
listen to static?
I'd hope there'd be music. All of it.
You would listen to Hub City Radio, I know. That's right. Okay.
Yep.
Good selection. Well, thanks for coming on the show today. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Nicole, Arnold, and Hunter Kopff here, talking some cross country, getting ready for the Roy Griak this weekend. Of course, here in town, the Steps for Shep. Some folks locally doing some running with that for a good cause too. We'll talk Tracking the Wolves schedule coming up this weekend in just a moment.
NCAA championships are something special.
Filled with memories we will carry with us for the rest of our lives.
We ask that you cheer hard for your institutions.
Acting responsibly and courteously towards those around you.
In the spirit of sportsmanship, enjoy the game, and let's provide our student athletes, coaches, officials, and fellow fans the respect they deserve.
Welcome back to Tracking the Wolves. Time to look at what's up next for your Northern squads as we check the upcoming schedule for NSU. Well, it is Gypsy Days week, folks, and that means a lot of excitement right here in the Hub City. The volleyball team is going to draw the top-ranked team in the nation coming up Friday as the 19th-ranked Wolves host Duluth. They'll follow that up by playing St. Cloud State on Friday night. Football squad draws 7th-ranked Sioux Falls on Saturday afternoon at 2:30, and you can catch both that football game and the volleyball match Saturday on ESPN 1420, 107.1 and ESPNAberdeen.com. Cougars, meanwhile, come off a 35-31 win over Duluth. Soccer squad is on the road again this weekend. They'll visit Wayne America Saturday and then head to Augie's Place on Sunday. And finally, the cross-country team will mainly be in the Twin Cities. It's the Roy Griak Invite happening this Saturday. Some of the folks, though, with the squad will stick around for the Steps for Shep event taking place right here before the yearly Gypsy Days Parade. That's going to do it for this episode of Tracking the Wolves. To stay up to date on all the latest in Northern sports, join me again right here next week. But until then, as always, go Wolves.